Welcome back everyone. We're going to be doing another comparison today, a full one, between the OnePlus 8 Pro, the new one, and the 7 Pro that just came out. Now between both, I mean, if you have all the money in the world, get the 8 Pro, but there's some really good deals for the 7 Pro going out too, which I'm honestly pretty surprised about. So I'll go ahead and talk about everything. I'll do like a speed comparison, all that stuff. I might make separate speed comparisons and camera comparisons between them both if you want to see it, but it really just depends how I feel during that moment of time. Now, pricing wise, you can pick both of these up on Amazon, which I'm really happy about. The 8 Pro cost me, I think, around $1,000 all full and done. So I literally just went on Amazon, purchased it, and went from there. And it really wasn't too long of a process. They had some in stock on Amazon, but they didn't have any on OnePlus, which is really weird. Whereas on the 7 Pro, you can pick one of these things up for, I think, less than $500, which is an extremely decent price to pay for a phone like this. I mean, it's still pretty much fully supported for the most part. Build quality is great. Everything is great about this phone. So I'll go ahead and leave both of these linked down below so you can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the front, I guess I'll go ahead and start off with the 7 Pro. When this phone came out last year, it was like a pretty big deal because the phone didn't cost like an arm and a leg, but on top of that, OnePlus really didn't hold out on a lot of things. You know, they did a couple things which were really weird, but the way the phone looked, the design, everything like that, it was extremely great in my opinion, and OnePlus did a really good job at it. Now, looking on the front, you have a 6.67-inch Fluid AMOLED display, which is a little bit smaller in size than the OnePlus 8 Pro, but it really doesn't feel like it. They both feel kind of the same. This one feels a little bit skinnier though, and it is a 1440p display, which is really cool. Now, one of the biggest highlights of that time about the OnePlus 7 Pro's display was definitely that 90Hz refresh rate, which is a humongous feature. I literally love that so much, and I think it's one of the coolest things OnePlus has done in a very long time besides their software. And I don't think they were the first ones to implement that. I just reviewed the Razer phone that had 120Hz. And I reviewed the Razer phone that had a 120Hz, in 2018. But on an AMOLED display, that's still extremely high quality in my opinion. For a phone that was priced as what it was, that's still extremely great in my opinion. And I have the 90Hz on right now, and it definitely is an extremely cool little feature that they added. So definitely this design and the display still holds up. You saw that pop-up camera, no camera hole or anything like that. So whereas on the OnePlus 8 Pro, we have a little bit of a different design. We have a 6.78-inch Fluid AMOLED display. This one is 1440p as well. Now with this one, we have the ability of doing 120 Hz. Now you can set it at 90 Hz, which is cool too, but that 120 Hz is really nice. And honestly, like I've stated before, going from 60 Hz to 90 Hz, I think is a bigger deal than going from 90 Hz to 120 Hz, but there's still a pretty noticeable jump going from 90 Hz to 120 Hz. So definitely at the end of the day, you're getting a really good screen on this phone, and it might just be one of my favorite screens for sure. Now, maybe the Samsung screens are still out there, but this display is still extremely good. You have a whole bunch display up top, whereas on the 7 Pro you didn't have it. So if you look at them side by side, you might think like the 7 Pro is the newer one, but that's not necessarily the case. I think this design is more practical. The pop-up camera was cool and all, but it was just kind of weird. In terms of the way they feel in the hand, like I stated, the OnePlus 7 Pro feels a little bit wider, but this phone feels skinnier, even though it's longer. So there's a little side by side so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. On the bottom, USB Type-C ports on both. And on the back, triple camera setups on both as well. Glass backs on both. You can see my sweat. Now, apparently both phones don't have wireless charging. I knew the 7 Pro didn't, but I didn't know the 8 Pro didn't have it. So I could be wrong, so I'll go and research that. But in terms of the way they feel and everything, like I stated before, they feel kind of the same, but you do have that matte texture on the 8 Pro, which is kind of cool in my opinion. It matches something like the 11 Pro and those ones, so if you like it, then that's cool. If you don't like it, then I guess it's whatever. Now, apparently I was looking into this. Okay, the 7 Pro does not have any IP certification, which, okay, is whatever. But the 8 Pro only has IP certification on the carrier models. So if you get the AT&T or T-Mobile models, those have IP certification, but the unlocked ones don't, which is extremely weird. I don't even know what even made that happen. So this one does not have IP certification, the one that specifically I have, because this is the unlocked model. I didn't get it through AT&T or T-Mobile or whatever. So they kind of match there, but if you get a carrier model, that one will have IP certification. So that will be a little bit better than the 7 Pro's non-IP certified phone. So in terms of the outside, that really pretty much covers it. Now we'll go ahead and hit on this software, and it's pretty easy. They're both on the same Oxygen OS, which is really cool. They're both theoretically probably going to be getting the same software versions for a couple more years, but the OnePlus 8 will probably last 1 year longer than the 7 Pro. but that's still not going to be for like at least like a couple years from now. So this phone is still like, they're both phones are still going to be good for a while. I will say, like I stated before, Oxygen OS is still one of my favorite softwares for sure. So if you're getting one phone for the software over the other, they're both almost the same exact software experience, and I'm actually really happy about that. Oxygen OS is definitely one of my favorite softwares for sure. So in terms of the software, I mean, both can still do custom ROMs and stuff, I'm sure, once this one gets a little bit of a more community behind it. So in terms of the software, that really pretty much covers it up too. Now I'll go ahead and hit on the speed and do a little bit of a speed comparison between them. But like I stated before, I might do a full separate speed comparison if you guys want to see it. It just really just depends how I feel. The OnePlus 7 Pro has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset, an octa-core CPU with 6 gigs of RAM on the base model, 8 gigs of RAM on that mid-tier model, and 12 gigs of RAM on that top-tier model. With the OnePlus 8 Pro has 8 gigs of RAM on that base model and 12 gigs of RAM on that top-tier model. Now these are both the base models, so this one has 6 gigs, this one has 8 gigs, so kind of keep that in mind. So I'll go ahead and load up some of these apps and let's see which one is the faster one between both of them. Okay, let me go ahead and clear out all the apps in the background, which shouldn't be too hard. Okay, let's go and load up something like the Play Store. 3, 2, 1. And I mean, they were pretty much the same, but actually scrolling speed, you can see that it was actually kind of glitching up a little bit on the OnePlus 7 Pro, whereas it seems to be at least a little bit smoother on the OnePlus 8 Pro. We can do some of these third-party apps that I downloaded. Facebook, 3, 2, 1. Okay, little pop-up here. And this one eventually got into it. Twitter, 3, 2, 1. And OnePlus 8 Pro faster, 7 Pro a little bit behind it. Instagram, 3, 2, 1. OnePlus 8 Pro, followed by the 7 Pro, a little bit behind. Stack, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it was faster to get into that little panel where it said, do you want to install the Google Play whatever? So I would probably still end up siding with the 8 Pro, even though we had a little pop-up. Let's do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And you can see the 8 Pro just a little bit faster actually, and not even just a little bit, it's way faster. And it didn't even glitch up. With the 7 Pro, it looked like it glitched up a little bit. That wasn't necessarily the case on the OnePlus 8 Pro, which is really cool. So that one was really surprising. I honestly was not expecting that one to be that big of a difference between both of them. Let's do the original Temple Run, 3, 2, 1. And we were in a game on here, so I'll go ahead and restart this one. Temple Run again, 3, 2, 1. And they both were about the same. If anything, I think the 7 Pro was actually a little bit faster there, which was really surprising. Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. 8 Pro faster, followed by the 7 Pro. Dune, 3, 2, 1. And pretty close on both, I'm not really too sure. Then we got an ad on both at the same time. Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think the 8 Pro is faster there. Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this at the same time. 3, 2, 1. And I think the 8 Pro is slightly faster. Not a crazy big difference, but just a little bit ahead. Now I'm going to end it off with Real Racing 3, once I can hop out of here. 3, 2, 1. And I don't even understand why we have to download it again on the 7 Pro, because I already downloaded it before. So I don't know, we'll probably just leave that. We'll just say the 8 Pro is probably a little bit faster, but we won't say that because it didn't happen. But between both for sure, I think the 8 Pro is just slightly faster, dude. But I'll be honest, it's not that big of a difference at all. I was expecting it to be maybe a little bit faster than what I thought. Yeah, so I was expecting the OnePlus 8 Pro to be way faster, and it was definitely, I think, more times than not faster than the 7 Pro, but it still wasn't really that big of a difference. But it is what it is. Maybe we'll see bigger differences later on, but I'll do a full separate speed test like I stated, and I'll do a full separate camera test too, but I'll hit on them briefly in this video. The OnePlus 7 Pro has a triple camera setup, and so does the 8 Pro. We have a 48 megapixel wide angle lens, 8 megapixel telephoto lens, then a 16 megapixel ultra wide sensor. Whereas on the 8 Pro, we have a 48 megapixel wide angle lens, 8 megapixel telephoto lens, and then a 48 megapixel ultra wide sensor. And between both, I mean, I'll probably tell you, yeah, the OnePlus 8 Pro probably has the better camera setup. It's a newer one. The camera features on it are almost identical to the 7 Pro, and I think at the end of the day, you're probably going to be getting the same exact camera quality, if not better than the 7 Pro. Megapixels are one thing, but they both can still do 4K at 60, and a lot of people have been saying they're almost like the same exact camera sensor, and that might be true, but I'm not really too sure. I'm not like 100% in depth with it, but for sure, I mean, I'll probably end up saying the OnePlus 8 Pro is the better camera. On the front though, it's kind of weird. On the motorized pop-up camera, we have 16 megapixels on both, They both can do 1080p at 30, which is pretty outdated. You should be able to do like 4K at this point because, you know, that's like the standard now. So that's pretty outdated already, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can really do about it. So in terms of the camera, I would definitely side with the OnePlus 8 Pro. Now running it off with the battery life, we have a 4,000 mAh battery on the 7 Pro, but a 4,510 mAh battery on the 8 Pro. And like I stated before, man, between both of them, bigger batteries are almost always better, and the 8 Pro definitely wins in terms of the battery. You have pretty much the same exact screens, same exact screen quality and everything. You just have that 120Hz refresh rate here, which kind of throws things off. But even then, if you have 90Hz here, I'm telling you, this is still going to be the bigger battery life here. So to kind of sum up the video, man, like I stated before, if you have all the money in the world and everything, getting a OnePlus 8 Pro will probably do you better in the future. It's definitely better. It'll definitely get you from point A to point B much better, and it's a little bit faster. Battery life is better. But if you are like in a pinch for money, dude, the 7 Pro is still a tremendous deal. You're still getting a crazy good phone. It has so many features in it, and it has so much life left in it that honestly, I would tell you, like, the 7 Pro is still probably a better bang for its buck in the used market. But the 8 Pro, obviously, if you have to go brand new, is still a better phone in my opinion. So that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys get that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys would check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.